Hello. A new mod has been ported to the Thunderstore. This time it is the custom death messages mod. If you've ever seen somebody in multiplayer with like weird death messages whenever they die, well, that's what they were using. They were using the custom death messages mod, and that wasn't on the Thunderstore until recently. So this video is just going to go over how you even use the custom death messages mod, because it's not the most intuitive thing. Right, so let me go into multiplayer right now. I'm gonna just host my own private server. Whoa, I am not playing Lightsburner right now. I'm just gonna name this for the video. Make it private, whatever password, I don't care. I don't really expect anybody to show up. Yeah, let's just play Frozen in time. I can show off what this does. Right, so again, if you've never seen it before, I'm just going to show you right now. So I'm going to run into this wall, and it says Tribo kiss the wall. If I reset, Tribo press the reset button. If I jump off and decide to fall into a kill grid, there's no kill grid. Well, that's unfortunate. But there are custom messages for if you get killed by a kill grid, if you explode from overheating. I can show that off. You know, it says Tribo needs to stop boosting sometime. So that's basically what it does. And these are just the default messages that the mod gives you whenever you load it up. If you want to use your own custom messages, well, you'll have to edit a JSON file. So when you first download the mod is going to make a JSON file when you open up the game. And that JSON file contains all of the custom death messages that it will be using. If you want to add your own custom stuff to it, well, you gotta go into that JSON file. And if you don't know where to find it, or if you don't know where to find the mod's mod folder, well, you have to go into the Thunderstore and go to browse your profile folder, and that's going to open up, you know, the profile folder that you're using for Distance. And from there, you go into the BepInEx folder, and then you go into the plugins folder, and then you go into a folder called DistanceModdingTeam-CustomDeathMessages. And in there is where you find the JSON file. And of course, if you can't follow along through the audio alone, I'll also have a little thing in the description telling you where to go if you need to find the file. But once you have the file, you'll need to edit the JSON. So if you want to do that, it's fairly simple actually. So I have what the JSON file looks like inside of the browser right now, but if you want to, if you need to open up the file, you can just use Notepad to open it, or any text editor if you're choosing. I like to use Notepad. Very quick. But this is basically what the JSON looks like. I'm gonna highlight it because I know it's a little hard to see. So the orange text is all of the categories. So as you can see here, it says kill grid. That's for when you get killed by the kill grid. Self-determination is when you get killed by pressing the reset button. And laser overheated is when you get killed by the laser overheating you. Stuff like that. And by default, it just uses these messages, except for these two. I actually added those earlier as an example. But whenever you edit a JSON file, you have to make sure that you follow the JSON format, because if you break the formatting, then the mod will not load your custom message. It's just going to use the default if it can't read the file correctly. So if you want to avoid that, you could use this website that I'm on to validate your JSON file before you upload it. Not really upload it, before you use it, in case you're not sure. But basically, if you want to add an extra line, I'm going to add an extra line for self-termination, right? Fix that. There we go. Okay. So whenever I want to add an extra line, the message needs to be contained within quotation marks. I'm just going to say, I love the reset button, right? And now this message will be used. I'm also going to click validate so I know that this is a valid JSON. Now you might notice that I did not put a comma at the end. That's why, and that's because in every category, the last message must not have a comma. Every message before it needs to have a comma. So if I were to put a comma right here and I clicked validate JSON, the site is going to tell me that it's wrong. This is incorrect and I need to fix this line. So I'm going to get rid of the comma and there we go, it's valid. And if I got rid of the comma above that line, it's going to say it's invalid again. So just make sure you follow that format and your JSON file will be fine. Again, if you save the file and then you try to like open the game to use your custom messages that you wrote down, it's not going to load those messages. It's just going to use the default ones until you fix the file. So again, if you're not sure you did it right, you can always use this website to check in case you're not sure. So if I were to like update the JSON file and close and reopen the game, then I love the reset button will now be included in the list of messages it can choose if I click the reset button. I'm not going to showcase that because I don't want to close and reopen the game. And you might have noticed that it has these like curly brace, 0 curly brace, like that symbol. The reason why that's there is because that represents your username. So you might have noticed whenever I like died and exploded, the Tribo committed Sudoku, it doesn't say Tribo committed Sudoku. It says curly brace 0 curly brace committed Sudoku. So like, this symbol just represents your username. So you don't have to, type out your username every time. You could type that out instead. The mod's description actually goes over this because you can also change the color of your messages, and you can also include a couple other things. So if you're interested in that, I would check the mod's description. There's even an example of like what changing colors looks like for the finished and tag points lead default messages. And yeah, that's really about it. Again, if you want to open the JSON file, just use Notepad. Notepad is the easiest way to open it, and you don't have to like upload anything to this site if you want to check and make sure that the JSON file is okay. You could just copy paste the text into this site and it'll work with that. You don't have to upload anything. And yeah, that's really about it. That's all I wanted to explain. So for the rest of this video, I'm just gonna give a little update. So the custom death messages mod is actually the last mod I wanted to port when I started this whole project of porting a ton of mods to the Thunderstore. Because I wanted to essentially progress the modding, I guess the modding status of Distance into the Thunderstore, because that's something that the modders were discussing for a while, is that we should probably use BepInEx, we should probably use the Thunderstore because it's more accessible and easy, and it was like a no-brainer because Centrifuge was no longer going to be updated anymore. But BepInEx is constantly being updated, and the Thunderstore is something that is actively maintained to this day, because it's used for several games, and not just Distance, of course. So yeah, that was the whole reason why I started this project, and now it's done. Well, not really done. Done in quotes. I say done because all of the mods that I wanted to port were the ones that I perceived to be the most used mods. And so I kind of made a list of everything that I was going to port, and well, I've done it. So from now on, I'm going to be focusing on the level editor because I stopped doing anything in the level editor just for the sake of, you know, porting mods over to the Thunderstore. Obviously, I haven't ported every single mod to the Thunderstore. There's still several that needs to be ported. So, if you would like for me to port more mods, then you can use my Ko-fi and give me some money and I'll do it. Okay, well, for serious, I might still be porting more mods over to the Thunderstore, but I'm gonna shift my priority to the level editor now instead of the mods. So I'm not really done doing it. It's just, it's no longer a priority. If you want it to be a priority, you could donate to my Ko-fi and say, hey, Tribo, port this mod, very please, thank you. But if you want to do that, you can as an option, but I might do it anyway. You could just ask. You don't have to throw money at me. You can just ask me, and I might do it. But just for now, the level editor is going to be my main priority for now. And yeah, you can expect some level editor stuff coming out of me again, instead of just mod things. And again, I'm not done modding. I might still update mods every now and then. I still have mod ideas in my brain, but it'll take a lot of time to cook. And right now, I want to cook in the level editor instead of cooking with C#. And really, that's about it. That's all I have for the update. Yeah, for the mods we have on the Thunderstore, and did you know that Distance is almost at 100 mods on the Thunderstore? Because, you know, the custom car creators have been uploading some of their cars over to Thunderstore now, so now there's actually like a lot of stuff that you can use. Sunchip especially has been porting a lot of their stuff over to the Thunderstore. So I encourage any other car creators out there, because I know you're out there. If you have custom cars and you want more people to see your cars and use your cars, then I would upload them to the Thunderstore. It's cool, and people use it. And there's a nice number you can see on like how many people downloaded the car. You can see how many people use it, or at least how many people downloaded it, even if it's the same person. I think it still goes up regardless. Anyway, I'm done rambling. I just wanted to update on what's going on with me from this point onward.